Hello, guys, and welcome to the third episode of our podcast, Char Vijay. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for the love and support you have shown us. We are really grateful for it. The topic for today's discussion is how faith plays an important role in our life and helps us to become better individuals. So, without any further ado, let's start with today's episode. So, guys, before we dive into today's episode, I would like to tell you a little about our guest. He is my big brother. He works at William J. Clinton Foundation. He has the cutest little son. And above all that, he's one of the best person I know. And I'm not kidding. So, without any further ado, let's welcome Mr. Chandan Vadwa. So, Chunnu bhaiya, kaise ho aap?
I'm absolutely excellent, man. Thank you so much for inviting me, all of you. Lakshay, Malang, Tanmay. Happy to be here, and thank you for this wonderful introduction. Yeah.
So first of all, I would like to tell the audience कि मानव आज हमें join नहीं कर पाया because he is busy elsewhere, but he'll be with us in memory. So Chandu, thank you so much for clearing time out of your busy schedule and coming here. तो आज का topic जो हम discuss करने वाले हैं, it's more inclined towards philosophy and a little bit about spirituality, and we are discussing कि how does faith in everyday life make us better and help us overcome our struggles. So first of all, ये मेरा तीनों से question है to Malang, to Chunnu भैया and to Tanmay कि what is your definition of faith?
See, faith is something that is very personal, and it is not external; it's internal. So you cannot compartmentalize faith like I have faith and I don't have faith. It's either there or it's not there. So what I mean by that is that for me faith is equal to daily life, and that's also one of the Buddhist concepts. So how you conduct yourself every day, what you do, what you think, how you behave is all one package of faith. So it's not just when you sit in front of the temple or in front of the altar where you pray or practice. That's not where faith starts. It is just the beginning. Okay, faith is when you step outside that comfort zone, when you step outside the house, when you are with your friends, when you are with your family, when you are with your colleagues, when you are with everyone. How you behave, what is it that the character that you uphold, the value system that you uphold, that's all driven and grounded by faith. So faith is sacrosanct. So it is very the basis of everything that we do is faith, in my understanding. Over to you guys. What do you think, Tanmay, Malang?
So I would like to follow the point that Chandan Bhai has made. The faith is individual to everybody. Everybody expresses it differently. Some go to temple, some meditate at home, and some buddies don't expect much. But it's kind of practice that helps everyone get through their daily life. Someone used faith to motivate themselves. Some use faith to express themselves outwardly, and some people even use faith for other purposes. But the faith in the end is like a power or a force that drives everyone.
So I also agree with what Bhaiya said. Basically, faith is something internal, and to me, it is more or less the confidence that I have in myself to perform or do something, or to face all the challenges that life may throw at me. Apart from being motivated or developing faith in external things, I believe that faith rather is having the confidence in our own abilities that we develop eventually as we get to know ourselves better, and we get to know our strengths and weaknesses and what we can and what we can't do. Faith is the ability that motivates us to do what we do right now and also improve with time. As things keep going forward, we also keep improving.
So I would like to also add to all of the points you guys made. I basically agree जो भी आप लोगों ने बोला. I think if I had to sum it up in one sentence, I would like to say that faith is what is in your heart at the end of the day. Whatever you believe about God, about a superior superior power, about yourself, about the people around you. I think that is faith. And if you are not like well sorted, or you are not taking steps to get better internally, make yourself feel better, make the people around you feel better, no matter how much you chant or कितने time आप मंदिर जाते हो, कितने time गुरुद्वारे जाते हो, that doesn't matter till the time you are not looking inside and saying, okay, uh, this is how I want to view things, and this is the perspective I want to keep regarding the things at life. So I think faith is, as everybody said, internal more than external. I think external aspects also play a key aspect, because when you are there in a in an environment, let's say a temple or a Buddhism ki meeting, when you are in that environment, that creates a sense of well-being inside you as well. So it is complementing the faith that we have, and faith is one of the key concepts, that key aspect of our life. Whether you're not, you believe in something, I think having faith in yourself is also a big. So that is what faith means to me.
And I just want to add a caveat there. So when you say that the environment outside us plays an important role, it is more important. There's another concept in Buddhism of oneness of life and environment. How does that interplay? That does not mean that the external circumstances will be supportive and will be conducive, only then you will feel better. So when you are in a meeting or when you are in a spiritual place, the energies are already uplifted outside. So it's easier to be at calm within, which is also difficult for most of the people, but still, because the external environments are not chaotic, you can tend to feel better. But in general parlance, 9 out of 10 times you will not get that conducive environment, and you will be exposed to situations which are uncomfortable. So drawing a parallel that faith's external can help you drive and become soothed inside is something that we should not anchor it too much, because everything is driven from internally what you are thinking. So anchoring, you said faith is in your heart, I agree to that, but that needs to be cultivated, that needs to be strengthened, and that needs to be worked on every single day. So you cannot take even a single day for granted, because every single day you will be faced with a new challenge. Chahe aap chaho ya na chaho, you still have to be prepared for the uncertainties. And how will you be prepared for the uncertainties? Not by knowing the uncertainties, by preparing a better response to those uncertainties, and that comes from within yourself. So that is faith.
मैं ये कह रहा था कि आपने बात करी कि whether or not, whether we like it or not, we have to face one or the other challenge every day. It can be related to our personal life, our relationships, our career, finances, studies, or anything else. There are 100 and even thousands of things we can face challenges related to. So that brings me to my next kind of question and the next point of discussion. Ki how do you think faith helps us in our own journey of life, and in us becoming better and overcoming the struggles that we face on a daily basis?
Right. It's a very important. See, again, I'm going to continue with the thread of oneness of life and environment, and faith equals daily life. So your question is anchored on daily life. So जब तक हम जी रहे हैं, तब तक हमारे को situations face करनी है. So you don't expect things to be your way, and the times are so uncertain. In today's time, technology is changing at a rapid pace. Like you blink your eye and in 1 week the new tool becomes ancient. Job market is very uncertain. The environment around is very uncertain. Wars हो रही है. Wars 19th century में हुई थी. We thought that 20th century and 21st century would be a age of peace. लेकिन peace कहीं नहीं है. लोग like countries are after each other, right? So जो scenarios pan out हो रहे हैं in your environment, that is definitely going to have an impact within your own lives. So faith becomes even more important now more than ever, right? And it has to be understood by the youth. Like all of us, I consider myself as youth. मैं खुद चाहे मैं 31, 32, 33 years का हूँ, I have that zeal and I have that passion to contribute to the world. जब तक वो आपके अंदर वो youthful spirit और आपकी age आपके side में है, so that's a very deadly combo. If you actually marry that combo with good heart, good intention, you can go to places. So it is something that daily life cannot be broken from your like aesthetic life. You cannot think कि मैं practice कर रहा हूँ तो मेरा सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं होने वाला है, right? You have to face your demons inside and outside. And एक चीज और important है कि जो आपके situation सामने आ रही हैं, that is also a manifestation of your weaknesses within. ये बहुत important चीज है समझने के लिए. आपको लग रहा होगा कि बिकॉज यू गाइज आर यंग, यू गाइज आर लाइक 19, 20, 21 ईयर्स ओल्ड, हमारे साथ कुछ हो रहा है तो हमें लग रहा है कि सामने वाले की गलती है, सामने वाले की वजह से हम सफर कर रहे हैं. दैट माइट बी ऑन अ नेकेड आई लेवल ट्रू. किसी ने आपको कुछ बोला, आपने उसको कुछ नहीं बोला था, देन यू माइट फाइंड योर सेल्फ इन अ सिचुएशन कि हाँ, you can blame the other person very simply because it's black and white. But that black and white is actually not black and white. You will have to develop a perspective and a depth of insight कि अगर वो मेरे साथ कुछ कर रहा है और मैंने उसके साथ कुछ नहीं किया था, तो there has to be a connection that you have done in the past and you don't have to dwell on that. But I'm just trying to give you a perspective retrospectively कि nothing happens by chance. If you are in a situation which is something that you have not called for, that is also not by chance. You have called for it or you would have called for it, but this has manifested now. उसका आने का टाइम अभी हुआ है, लेकिन आपने किया पहले होगा कुछ. सो इट इज नॉट दैट समथिंग इज हैपनिंग कि बिना आग के धुआं नहीं निकलता है. इट्स लाइक दैट लॉजिक. आग है तो धुआं निकलेगा. तो आपकी लाइफ में अगर आग लगी है, धुआं तो निकल रहा है, तो फिर आपने कुछ ना कुछ तो गड़बड़ करी है. अभी आपको याद नहीं है चाहे, लेकिन गड़बड़ तो हुई है. तो हाउ डू you don't ponder on the gadbad, you try to fix the present by living in the present moment and doing the right thing now. That's how you change your life and your circumstances. So everything said and done, if you don't have an anchor in your life which can guide you back to the right direction, take an example of a compass, and I'll pause in 30 seconds. Take two examples of a compass. When a ship is sailing in a sea, it has to have a compass, it has to have that lighthouse that will guide it in the middle of nowhere. What is your compass? What is my compass? If we don't have a compass, we are bound to get lost in the sea of this ocean, or sea of this world, which is like an endless ocean. You cannot get past this life without having your own shares of struggles, without having your own shares of victories, without having your own shares of sorrows, without having your own shares of misery. इसके बिना आप लाइफ पार नहीं कर सकते, ये तो बाय डिफॉल्ट आप मान के चलो. बट अभी ये चीज समझना इस टाइम पे बहुत जरूरी इसलिए क्योंकि लोग इसके बारे में बात नहीं करते हैं. बिकॉज एज इज लाइक टिकटॉक, इंस्टाग्राम, फेसबुक. इट्स लाइक इन्फॉर्मेशन ओवरलोड. एवरीथिंग इज देयर ऑन योर फिंगर टिप्स. अच्छी चीजें भी उंगली पे है, खराब चीजें भी उंगली पे है. जो दबाओगे वो देखोगे. Right? So it becomes even more important to guard yourself internally so that you get immune externally. नहीं तो you are going to we are all going to get lost in that jungle of information. So that is what I wanted to share, and faith becomes your vaccine.
Becomes a guiding factor. And I would like to add something. मैं agree करता हूँ. I would like to add a point कि जब मैंने ज्वाइन करी थी practice, you were the one who introduced me. And हमें सिखाया था कि it's not like a magic wand. And ये होता भी है. There is a saying also, God helps those who help themselves. ठीक है. So till the time you are not taking that action to get better, to figure the things that are happening in your life, even God can't help you. अगर तुम पूरा दिन बैठ के अपना टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हो instead of doing the right things, as Junavia mentioned, so you are digging your own grave. Basically, it's not a magic wand कि just because मैं practice कर रहा हूँ, just because मैं मंदिर जा रहा हूँ, मेरे साथ सब ठीक हो. It's not like that. But I think it is a very important guiding factor because it gives you the strength, the clarity and the wisdom to deal with situations. I think that the way our life goes, there are our share of struggles as mentioned and our share of victories. But जब we are directionless, जब हमारा कोई directionless होते हैं हम बहुत ज़्यादा, तो क्या होता है कि we see everything with a negative light. But when we have a direction to go to, we can see that there is a new lens, there is a new perspective through which we can look things at. जब भी मेरी कोई struggle हो रही है या फिर मैं अच्छा नहीं कर पा रहा किसी चीज़ में या मुझे कोई problem है जो बहुत सता रही है, I look at more as an opportunity rather than a challenge. Instead of seeing it as a challenge कि यार मैं तो खराब हो गई है, जिंदगी खत्म हो गया है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा, मैं उसे as a challenge नहीं देखता. We look it as an opportunity to grow. When you have that factor inside you, and I think that factor is faith. And faith is as discussed subjective. कुछ भी हो सकता है. Even if you don't believe in a certain philosophy, a certain religion, faith can be in yourself as well. Till the time you have that guiding factor, I think you are looking at things positively. ठीक है. तो जब विक्ट्रीज होती है, विक्ट्रीज अगर हम नेगेटिव लाइट से देखें तो मैं ऐसे सोचता हूँ कि यार ये मिल तो गया, बट आई एम नॉट फीलिंग गुड, आई डोंट थिंक इट्स इनफ, आई थिंक कि आई वांट मोर 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 मोर. It is a human desire for us to want more, but I think when there is that guiding factor, you look at that victory and you say, whatever I just received is a blessing. I am very grateful for it, that I have been working hard for a specific victory for so long and I have finally gotten it, and I accept it with both hands. And then I will move forward with an intention to grow rather than the intention of greed to want more. I think that is the basic difference that happens when you have that guiding factor again and when you don't have. So that is basically what I wanted to say.
सो जैसे कि मैं फेथ में इतना फोकस करता नहीं पर्सनली, कि जैसे कि कोई मैं डेली प्रैक्टिस नहीं करता, नहीं ज़्यादा एक्सप्रेसली करता हूँ बाहर जाके, तब भी मैं कम से कम खुद पे बिलीव करता हूँ, खुद पे फेथ है मेरी। जैसे कि अभी मैं CFA एग्ज़ाम दिया था कुछ महीने पहले, एग्ज़ाम पास आ रहा है, सिलेबस कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ मेरा, स्ट्रेस हो रहा है, हो पाएगा नहीं हो पाएगा, कि मैं कहते पास होऊंगा नहीं, इतना स्ट्रेस हो रहा है, मैं दूसरों को ब्लेम कर रहा हूँ, देख से टाइम वेस्ट करवाया, मैंने खुद को ब्लेम कर रहा हूँ, मैंने टाइम स्पेंड कर रहा हूँ, ये कर रहा हूँ, वो कर रहा हूँ, पढ़ाई नहीं कर रहा हूँ। पर इन द एंड कहते हैं मैं सोचा कि मैं क्यों सोच रहा हूँ ऐसा, मैं एग्ज़ाम फोकस करूँ, कि 1-2 महीने बचा एग्ज़ाम में, कुछ पढ़ा नहीं है, पेरेंट्स इतने मेहनत की है, पैसे दिए है, कहते इतना वो विशेष किए, अपने कहते होप्स डाले मुझ पर, तो मैं इन एक्सटर्नल चीज़ों क्यों फोकस कर रहा हूँ, मैं खुद पे फोकस करना चाहिए। तो जब खुद पे फेथ लाया मैं कि मैं खुद कर सकता हूँ, मैं कंप्लीट कर लूँगा, कुछ भी हो जाए मैं एग्ज़ाम पास करूँगा, इस फेथ ला के मैंने खुद पे कॉन्सेंट्रेशन किया मैंने एग्ज़ाम पास करने के लिए। मुश्किल से मैं दिन के 12 घंटे 16 घंटे पढ़ रहा हूँ कल पास होने के लिए, पर तब जाके मैंने कंप्लीट किया सिलेबस, कि मैं सोच रहा हूँ खुद कर पाऊँगा। जब मैंने किया मैंने, और इंडियन जो एग्ज़ाम दिया था मैंने, तो अच्छा लगा था कि जो मैं सोचा 100% दिया अपना, जो कर सकता था इन दी एंड। तो फेथ मेरे लिए कहते हैं एक ड्राइविंग फोर्स मेरे लिए, कि मैं कहते हैं सोचता हूँ मैं ये नहीं कर पाऊंगा, लोग क्या सोचेंगे, मुझसे बेटर कर रहे हैं, तो मैं सोचता हूँ मैं उनसे कंपेयर क्यों कर रहा हूँ, मैं जो खुद का हूँ खुद का बेस्ट दूँ, सोच के कि मैं अपना बेस्ट दे चुका हूँ और जो होना है होने दो अब। तो मैं सोच कर डे लाइफ जीता हूँ, जितना जीना फुलेस्ट जियो अपना। कहते हैं कोई एग्जाम दे रहे हो अपना 100% दो, पढ़ रहे हो 100% दो, जो कर रहे हो एट द मोमेंट रहो, अपने दूसरों में सोच दूसरे क्या सोच रहे हैं, खुद फोकस करो।
So Malank, तुझे कुछ ऐड करना है?
सो अभी लक्ष्य ने बोला कि बेसिकली फेथ इज मोर और लेस अ कंपास दैट गिव्स अस अ डायरेक्शन इन अ सेंस, राइट? सो I'd like to talk about कि a lot of people that have faith but they are still directionless. We talked a lot about faith abhi, but why don't we talk about its counterpart, fear? That is not believing in people. There are some people that have faith in themselves, faith in their almighty, but they don't have faith in their fellow men, and that is exactly what leads to wars like Chandan Bhaiya talked about. For example, I'll not take any names, but we all know that there are certain sections of people that follow faiths, but they still indulge in activities that might be considered, a non inhumane to like other people. So, how do you feel that these people also consider themselves faithful, but then again they are not doing things that are good to other people and eventually to themselves also? So, what are your views on this?
Yeah, as a rise of social media, you're seeing many people showing faith online, like going to temple, doing pujas, but they are showing, they कहते हैं ऐसा कर रहे हैं कि लोग दिखावे के लिए कर रहे हैं कि मैं फॉलो करूंगा, लोग मुझे देखेंगे, मैं बड़ा अच्छा सोचेंगे। वो इंटरनेट फॉलो नहीं कर रहे, सिर्फ दिखावे के लिए करते हैं। कहते हैं चाहे कि लोग पसंद करें, कोई एजेंडा वो कहते हैं फोकस कर जाते हैं, कोई पुश कर रहे हैं एजेंडा, तो इसलिए कर रहे हैं वो लोग। ऐसा करते हैं कि दिखावा कर रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं। मैनी टाइम्स हैपेंस करंट सोशल मीडिया, कई बार देख लो कितने चैनल्स है, कितने पेजेस हैं, मेरे को नाम नहीं लूँगा, पर ऐसा हो रहा है बहुत जगह, होता रहेगा ये। तो उसकी सॉल्यूशन है नहीं, सब अपने इंडिविजुअल है, वो जो चाहे करते रहते हैं, तुम क्या करें?
See, I have a differing point of view, more holistic than me. So solution है, there is a valid solution, but before I come to that solution, let me answer what Malank had just raised. The counter of faith, fear, anger, ego. So these are the root causes which actually lead to what you see today. War, mistrust, right? Greed, anger, foolishness. So there are three basic root qualities of greed, anger and foolishness which is also residing in my heart. क्या इसको ऐसे समझो, there is one compartment जहाँ पे greed, anger, foolishness रहते हैं, and there is another compartment where courage, compassion and wisdom stays. And these both compartments are so tightly knit to each other, and it is already ingrained in my own life, and they're not separate from my life. So visualize that right now. Now, if you say that there is so much mistrust, wrongdoings that are happening out there, उसका anchor है जब आपका वो वाला part activate होगा, greed, anger, foolishness का, तो you are going to behave in those qualities, and then you are going to be in the lower life states. In Buddhism, we understand and we learn there are 10 life states. So when you are in the lower 5 worlds, so there are 5 worlds which are lower, which is greed, hunger, animality. So these are the lowest 3 worlds. आप जब इस लाइफ स्टेट में होते हो तो आप ना किसी के लिए अच्छा सोच सकते हो, ना आप अच्छा कर सकते हो, और आप अपना भी नुकसान करते हो। Like you're not purposely going to do wrong to someone else, you're also doing wrong to yourself. So these three life states are considered to be the lowest life states, and that is driven, and the people who are in these life states are the ones who are actually creating ruckus. So the solution, Tanmay, is to not be in these three life states and come out of the three life states. Because solution तो देखो हर चीज का है. See, you have to cultivate hope. And how do you cultivate hope in the hopeless situation is something that you need to learn. अब AI कह रहे हैं सब सीख लो. AI वर्ल्ड आ गया, 25 टूल, 30 टूल, 50 टूल, 10 रुपए में सीख लो, 100 रुपए में सीख लो. It's flooded. Now you either you learn it or you don't learn it. वो तो wave है, right? So it's up to you what you want to do. You want to learn and you want to be on the other side of the boat, or you want to be on the side where you are, you know what you know, right? But you would definitely want to be up the game. Similarly in your life, solution तो है, lower life world में रहना है या upper life world में रहना है. So simple है. It's as simple as it can get. These are the 4-5 worlds, and these are the upper 5 worlds. Upper 5 worlds are learning, realization, bodhisattva, buddhahood. So if you want to be in these 3-4 life states beyond hell, hunger and animality, the choice is yours. So now the solution that we should talk about is how do we cross from lower to upper. हमें उस पे बात करनी चाहिए. And then that will also answer to some extent Malang's question that जो आपका काउंटर है, जो एग्जिस्ट करता है, बिकॉज ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट जब तक एग्जिस्ट नहीं करेंगे तब तक आप ब्लैक को नहीं समझ पाओगे और व्हाइट को नहीं समझ पाओगे, मलंग. सो यू कैन नॉट एक्सपेक्ट दैट एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी फाइन एंड एवरीवन इज गोइंग टू फॉलो रूल्स. ट्रैफिक रूल्स आपने देखे हैं, सब फॉलो करते हैं, लाइट तो लगी होती है. देयर आर पीपल हु विल ब्रेक इट, देयर आर पीपल हु विल नॉट ब्रेक इट, एंड देयर आर consequences of people who break it, and there are consequences of people who don't break it, and there are also good and bad. So the solution that we have to discuss, and I think we should focus our light on, is how do we improve our state of heart and our lives so that we become a better human being. ठीक है, constantly we should consider ourselves and focus that how we can become a better human being. So आपके पास जो लोग हैं और जहां पे आप हो वहां पे फ्रेग्रेंस होनी चाहिए. If you are able to do this much, सिर्फ इतना, आपने दुनिया नहीं बदलनी, आपने जाके रशिया की वॉर नहीं रोकनी, आपने यूक्रेन की वॉर नहीं रोकनी, आपने गाजा में जाके वॉर नहीं रोकनी. You don't have to do all that. But what you have to do is you have to be where you are and be fragrant, be nice, be loving, be kind. अगर आप इतना कर लेते हो, then you are actually transforming the world for better. And for that you will need to learn skills. Like you need to learn AI, you also need to learn these human skills which we are not taught anywhere, unfortunately. So जो आप fear, एंगर, फुलिशनेस की बात कर रहे हो, वो ओवर पावर कर रही है क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग उसके अंदर फंसे हुए हैं और वही आपको नॉर्म दिखता है. आपकी क्लास में आप देखोगे 100 बच्चे हैं, 100 में से कितने बच्चे ऐसे हैं जो बहुत अच्छी पॉजिटिव वाइब्स से बातें करते हैं और बहुत सारे कितने बच्चे हैं जो आप बहुत सारी नेगेटिव बातें करते हैं. यू टेल मी व्हाट्स द प्रपोर्शन. जस्ट से अ नंबर.
कहते हैं
60-40 होगा एटलीस्ट.
60-40
नेगेटिव, 40 पॉजिटिव,
दोनों एक्सट्रीम्स में करते हैं.
40
ये भी लोग 30 बोल सकते हैं. तो बच्चे तो न्यूट्रल रहते हैं, साथ बात करते हैं, कुछ करते नहीं है.
ठीक है.
बच्चे ऐसे भी है जो बहुत नेगेटिव बात करते हैं, बहुत करते हैं, इन्फ्लुएंशियल बात करते हैं, और कुछ एकदम पॉजिटिव बात करते हैं, हंस के बात करते हैं. तो ये बोलूँगा 30% बोल सकते हैं. 30 एकदम परफेक्ट है, मतलब अच्छे से बात करते हैं, और 30 नेगेटिव है. पीछे 40 न्यूट्रल है, जहाँ बात करते नहीं है और जिंदगी देख खुद का फोकस करते हैं और किसी में फोकस नहीं करते हैं. ऐसा
उनके अंदर क्या है आपको नहीं पता ना, राइट? यू कैन ओनली रीड द फेस एंड द वर्ड्स दैट आर कमिंग फ्रॉम द पर्सनस माउथ. यू डोंट नो व्हाट द पर्सन इज थिंकिंग. सो जो आप 30 न्यूट्रल बात भी कर रहे हैं और जो नहीं बात भी कर रहे हैं वो भी तो गलत सोच सकते हैं, वो भी तो नेगेटिव सोच सकते हैं.
ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि जो लोग पॉजिटिव बात कर रहे हैं
वो भी उल्टा सोच सकते हैं. एब्सोल्युटली
पॉजिटिव एंड वो भी उल्टा सोच रहे हैं.
Absolutely. You want to be acceptable, na? Socially acceptable. So you will try to wear a mask. Most of the people, most of us wear masks because sometimes it's important. You cannot be fragile and vulnerable with everybody. You need to protect yourself also. But you cannot fake it to an extent that you are not that person and you are trying to be something else. And that's the place where you need to find a simple balance कि भाई मैं इतना भी झूठ या इतना भी फरेब ना करूँ कि मैं हूँ ही ना वो बंदा या जो actually मैं नहीं हूँ. Just for the sake of being accepted by the society, I be that. So social media वाला angle तन में जो आपने बोला, that is that. That's that extreme. So we don't have to go that route. Your originality, your sanity is where you are and what is how comfortable you are within your this skin. चाहे मैं लक्ष्य से बात कर रहा हूँ, चाहे मैं अपने सीईओ से बात कर रहा हूँ, मेरे को बदलना नहीं है अपने. हाँ, I will respect my position person, I will respect him, but I will not try to be a different Chandan because that person has a different title. So that authenticity and the balance is something that you have to maintain. So I don't want to derail the conversation, but coming back to what Melank was saying, that fear, anger and foolishness is something that we must avoid at all costs, and for that you need to practice, you need to have an anchor, and these are the reasons why wars happen, these are the reasons why everything. So in one word, if I want to say why is that why is the world what it is? It's because of ego. विकार होता है, 5 विकार बोलते हैं इसको. ईर्ष्या.
विकार क्या होता है?
विकार is negativity, right? So 5 विकार.
5 विकार के होंगे, 5 से नेगेटिविटी.
तो आपके 5 विकार कौन से होते हैं? मैं बताता हूँ. If I can recall, Irsha, I am not able to recall the names, but there are 5 vikars. One of them is ego. Ego is the anchor of all the missed things that happen, because that's where road rages happen, that's where wars happen. Small scale पे 2 बंदे लड़ते हैं, बड़े scale पे 2 countries लड़ती हैं. That's very basic comparison if you can look at it.
I would like to add to something what Chinnu bhaiya said and Malang का point कि there are two sides. मेरा तो ये मानना है कि अगर दुनिया में अच्छाई है तो दुनिया में बुराई भी है. If there are people in the Bodhisattva, Buddhahood, world of Buddhism, if we talk about, there are people in the hell, hunger, animosity, whatever as well. And the sad truth about today's world is कि ज़्यादा लोग negative life state में हैं. Negativity हमारे आज के दौर में ज़्यादा है compared to the positivity. ये हम I think we can agree. अगर हम युगों की बात करें तो अभी कलयुग चल रहा है, and that is what is also written in our ancient scriptures. ठीक है, तो मेरा यही point है कि what can we do about that? I think the change begins inside us. Whether we like it or not, हम अब दुनिया नहीं बदल सकते. One person cannot change the world. The best we can do is make our surroundings better, make ourselves better. That is the contribution of us towards making this world a better. And when we get to higher positions of power, when we have more people that we can reach out to, then we take another step, and that is how we can grow in making this world a better place. हम जाके जो बुरा होता है, जो wars होती हैं, जो terrorist attacks होते हैं, हम उन्हें नहीं रोक सकते क्योंकि that is bound to happen because of the negativity that exists. But what we can do right now is make sure that the surroundings around us are positive.
Right. And 5 vikaras तन्मय are काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, अहंकार.
ये इंग्लिश में क्या कहते हैं?
क्रोध is anger, लोभ is greed, काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह. मोह is
Desire.
Moh is desire, and calm is your lust, right? That's fine.
So that was a really good discussion on this topic. मैं एक और सवाल पूछना चाहूँगा कि as college students and as working professionals, ठीक है, we basically sometimes don't have the time to practice what we consider as faith. It can be different for anyone कि खुद के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करना, meditating on a daily basis and figuring your inside. I think या बुद्धिज्म की मीटिंग्स में जाना, चांट करना, मंदिर जाना, मस्जिद जाना, गुरुद्वारे जाना, whatever you consider faith, ठीक है. We are basically not able to make the time, but how we have जो भी हमारी अभी तक डिस्कशन रही है उसमें हमने यही पॉइंट प्रूव किया है कि फेथ इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ, एंड व्हेन यू आर नॉट एबल टू टेक योर टाइम आउट, how can one go about their daily lives so that they ensure they are taking that time well out for themselves, for their job or their studies or college or whatever, and for faith as well.
अक्षय, I don't agree with you on this point. कोई हम टाइम निकाल नहीं पाता कि फेथ के लिए. ऐसा जरूरत है ना, तुम 1 घंटा वेस्ट कर रहे हो, 2 घंटा दे रहे हो, 3 घंटा दे रहे हो, तुम मुश्किल निकालना टाइम निकलता है, टाइम निकालना पड़ता है. तुम दिन में 5 मिनट मेडिटेशन कर लो, कुछ काम करो, खुद भरोसा करो, 2 मिनट निकालो, 10 मिनट निकालो. ऐसा कोई जरूरी एक्सेस टाइम वेस्ट करना है, टाइम इस्तेमाल करना है. टाइम निकल जाता है, निकालना पड़ता है. 5 मिनट इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो कहीं ना कहीं, तो तुम कहते हैं मंदिर आओ, प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मंदिर में घर पे कुछ पूजा कर लो, प्रार्थना कर लो, कुछ भी कर लो, बस निकालना पड़ेगा ही. कब निकलेगा टाइम?
वो तो I agree with you. I just posed a question. मतलब I'm not talking about only myself. I'm talking about the general.
I'm also जनरल है, मैं जनरली बोल रहा हूँ.
मैं वही कह रहा था कि मैं भी agree करता हूँ तन्मय से कि when something is important to you, I think अगर हम अपने बॉयफ्रेंड या गर्लफ्रेंड के लिए टाइम निकाल सकते हैं, हम अपने पढ़ाई के लिए टाइम निकालते हैं, हम अपने वर्कआउट के लिए टाइम निकालते हैं, तो आई थिंक दिस इज वन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ लाइफ दैट आल्सो नीड्स टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि तुम सब कुछ छोड़ दो बाकी सब, दैट इज नॉट ट्रू इन द रियल वर्ल्ड. वी कैन नॉट जस्ट गो टू द हिमालयस एंड हमने संन्यास ले लिया. वी हैव अ फैमिली टू टेक केयर ऑफ, वी हैव आवर लाइव्स टू लिव. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा सब कुछ छोड़ दो, अपना काम काज धंधा, अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड को सबको छोड़ दो, वो मत करो. बट इफ यू आर टेकिंग टाइम आउट फॉर देम, फॉर योर वर्क, फॉर योर फैमिली, I think if something is important to you, you can take time out for that as well.
No, I have just two points to make here. So if do we forget to eat food, right? Do we forget if you have an exam, CFA exam, will you not study at all till the day of your exam? सो यू विल हैव अ प्रायोरिटी मैट्रिक्स, उसके अंदर आप प्रायोरिटाइज करोगे और आप अपनी चीजें स्टॉक करोगे. So in my understanding, if I need to make a very strong submission here, that faith or prayer is a non-negotiable right now. Because if you don't take care of yourself, who is going to give the exam? Who is going to talk to their girlfriend? Who is going to be present where you are supposed to be present? It's me, right? And if I am not in a good frame of mind, I can wear good clothes, I can look good, I can smell good, I can have good accessories alongside me which are all external, but I don't feel good about myself within, then you are actually
वो सब
stinking, man.
useless हो जाता है.
You're
Useless हो
stinking.
जाता है.
You don't spread fragrance, you stink. But that stink is something that first you feel from within, and then you are going to make the other persons feel through the words and through the thoughts that you're going to create. So it is paramount that अगर हमें कुछ भी करना है उससे पहले सबसे पहले हमें अपना ध्यान रखना, and more so than ever right now, because times are so fragile. I am part of the organization which you've mentioned. I am taking care of the mental health vertical, and whatever research I've read and whatever research that I have studied, and we are pitching programs and ideas to a lot of other organizations for funding. The biggest vulnerable age group for mental health is adolescent. From age group 16, like 9 to 16, plus the people who are in college. They are the most vulnerable age group of falling prey to mental health illnesses, which is anxiety, depression, psychosis, and all these kinds of illnesses. And the main reason is that you don't feel good about yourself. So do you want to end up taking therapies all your life, or do you want to help yourself by anchoring on something that is feasible, that is workable, and that you have to do? It's a non-negotiable. Taking help externally is not wrong, but if something can be fixed, if you focus some focus time of your own life to dedicate it to your own well-being, which is a non-negotiable. And faith should not be viewed just as an activity related to God or an activity related to some external being. It is actually your own life that you are protecting and you are cherishing. Think of it as a mother protecting her child. How does a mother protect her child? अपनी मम्मी से पूछना कभी कि आपको उन्होंने कैसे बड़ा किया, कैसे उन्होंने ध्यान रखा है. Right? Can you remember your old days when you were young and when your mother was protecting you? She would have done anything for you but to let you get hurt or you get harm. And she would have protected you from all means. That is how you have to protect our life states. That's how we have to protect our own lives. And for that matter, taking out time becomes immaterial. बिकॉज अगर वो इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो आपको समझ में आ गया है, तो आप इनवेरिएबली निकालोगे, फिर आपको सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा. इट इज योर सेकंड नेचर. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स व्हिच राइट नाउ आई वुड लाइक थ्रू योर मीडियम want to share with everybody who is listening, that irrespective of what happens, your well-being, your health, mental health is paramount, and faith is definitely one of the means which will help you keep yourself anchored, and it will be like an immune system. Like your body has an immune system, it's an immune system for external things that we are facing right now. All the kinds of things that we are exposed to, everything that you can think of. बहुत कम positive influences हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा negative influences हैं. So we have to buckle up if we really want to show up every day. We cannot show up with a half-hearted effort. We cannot show up just for the sake of showing up, because right now what I feel with young people, and I myself have gone through that, I am also a culprit of doing that we try to fake it. एक बहुत popular quote unquote, fake it till you be it or believe it. There is a very famous quote. I don't
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. So I don't really go with that line. You cannot fake something to an extent that, because if you really don't feel that it is coming from within yourself, then you might not be able to be 100%. So it's better to rectify those things and those insecurities. Yes, you have to show up, you have to do your work, you have to fail, but you don't have to do it with that conscious mind that, oh, I'm not worth enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough. You have to do it, you have to learn, you have to do it again. You do not have to commit the same mistake again. You have to show up, yes. You don't have to fake it just for the sake of doing it, right? So that is something that I wanted to send this message out. That's some pointers which I have in mind.
Yeah, so I was basically saying that Bhaiya talked about how praying is an essential part of our day, or it isn't just about being with the Almighty, but also, about connecting with ourselves. As a person who is, more towards the non-believing side than the believing side, I don't personally find praying as an essential part of my day at all. As I mentioned in the very beginning, faith for me is just believing in myself, and Tanmay also believes the same. I feel that making out time for faith would just be to, talking to myself about how things are going and how things would proceed, rather than, like meditating. Personally, meditation is not for me, although it is also a way to connect with oneself. But I personally don't feel that we should actually, be dependent on God or some any other person for, getting our motivation or making sure that we are towards the right path. Because then, in a way, we are being influenced by external factors only and not, by our own internal self. I personally feel that a person who does good without believing in God is actually doing it without fearing the punishments of hell and other things like that, because most people that say they are god loving are actually god fearing. They'd say that if you do these things bad, they are a sin and you will go to hell or you will face eternal torment for it, and not just because of the fact that it is good. And this is also a reason why we see that many people of a specific belief target peoples of other beliefs, and they might be great persons to their own community and people of their own beliefs, but then they'll consider the people of different beliefs worse than even animals. So in my personal opinion, I feel that just connecting with your own self and believing in what you feel is good for others is much better than like relying on any external faith system that isn't your own consciousness.
Yeah, I want to add there, Malak. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, man. So you're absolutely right in terms of having your point of view, but there's a differing point of view that I have. But the thing that I want to highlight here is that anything that you're saying, it's external, and it's a debate. It's like kind of a debate that is always there within our own lives also. So if I have one question for you, so if you see a small baby, what is that first emotion that comes in your heart?
It's
Little
cute,
baby
to
and
protect
like,
it, to protect it from harm.
Protected from harm, cute. So the feeling that emanates from yourself, where is that feeling coming from?
From a conscious,
From
I would
within,
say.
right? Somewhere,
Yeah.
because that's what you have gathered, that's what you have seen. So whatever we pick in our lives is what we start believing, our belief system. I have a small child. That child sees everything and everything is true for him. If I behave in a certain manner, he'll pick up traits from me, even if it's wrong, and he start doing that. He doesn't know what's right or wrong. And even I am a person who I'm learning from him. So what I'm saying is, you know what my child has taught me? My child has taught me unconditional love. Even if I have been harsh to him, he comes back to me with the same affection before that instance of harshness. So what I'm saying, trying to come to it, is that whatever feelings and emotions that we gather, yes, we might think we are in control, but there is someone else who's controlling our emotions, and we are not external to things that you think you are external to. You are carrying a set of karma that has been with you all your life, and you're not here for the first time. You are Malank right now. You would have, and this is a little bit of psychology, like philosophical thing, but this is something that I really want to park it. I know you have to, it's for you to chew on. I'm not trying to convince you or anything. So it's not that your existence is limited to this lifetime. Your life has been an eternal journey, and you are born in certain set of circumstances right now, and you are given certain kinds of things that you are right now working on, and you will be working on. So that's one. Plus, your next steps or what you're going to go through tomorrow is something that you don't know. And even I don't know what's going to happen to me tomorrow, or after this call, what happens to me, I don't know, right? So all of us collectively are on a journey of an unknown. So when you don't know the way, I would definitely follow Google Maps, right? So if I really don't know where I need to go, I would anchor on Google Maps. You blindly follow Google Maps right now. How did your father travel? Ask him 20 years back. Just ask him how did he go to one place A to place B. He'll tell you how he went, right? So we don't have to go that route of asking. We can do that. That's how you explore, and once the technology gets evolved, you will adopt it and you will start taking it. So my only submission to you is, like, before you reject something, you should try it first and then reject it, because you don't know a taste of a samosa if you don't eat a samosa. You don't know a taste of an apple if you have not eaten an apple. So yes, you have a very strong belief system, and I really respect that, and I respect your boundaries. But my submission is that before we come to a conclusion of rejecting or accepting something, as a scientific person like you are, so you should try it, and then you should come to a valid conclusion. Obviously, it's up to you. If it might work for you, it might not work. And it's not about this faith which I'm practicing. I'm telling you about anything. So have a little bit of space to explore and internalize things which you think are not important, which will help you to get closer to things which you might end up liking. So you don't know. right? So that's one submission that I had. Thank you.
So that brings us to the end of this discussion. I think it was a very fruitful discussion. हमने बहुत सारे aspects discuss किए faith के, उसकी definition, what it means to us, how can one practice in its daily life. We got some very interesting perspectives from Malang, Tanmay and Chunnu भैया, and I think काफी मजा आया हमें podcast shoot करने में. तो Malang, Tanmay, Chunnu भैया, do you have anything to add?
So I'd like to say that it was a really great discussion, you know. As a person who is more towards the non believing side, it is always, you know, great listening to people that are on the other side of the spectrum and learning things from them and, you know, discussing things that you feel are different from them. It is a great thing every time it happens. So I'm thankful to you and Chandan Bhaiya for this great discussion. And I guess Tanmay shares my views.
Yeah, I also learned many new things today. I learned about various types of karma and other things which Nuve told about. I also delved deep in topics I didn't think about before, like how people affect each other, how faith affects us in total. I normally believed only in myself when it comes to faith, but after hearing things out that you, Laksha, Chunnu Bhai and Malang told about, I also open to more new experience and things. So I am thankful for this experience.
So वही है ना, you learn from other people's experiences as well, not only your own experiences. मैं एक point share करना चाहूँगा कि हमारी meetings होती हैं, ठीक है, उनमें हम जाते हैं तो वहाँ पे ना experiences share करते हैं लोग अपने, चुनो भी would know. तो when you learn, when you hear their experience, you get a new perspective altogether regarding life in general and regarding yourself as well. So I think it is very necessary कि तुम दूसरे लोगों के experiences भी सुनो and उनसे देखो. And I think this podcast was a perfect example of that. कि we have similar yet different opinions regarding faith, but at the end of the day, it was all interlinked together. And Chunnu Bhaiya, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, just a vote of thanks. Thank you so much for inviting me to this discussion. It has really been a learning experience for me, listening to Tanmay, Malang, Lakshay. And key thing that I would want to leave this discussion is that wherever you are, in whatever state you are, you should just be fragrant. So spread your fragrance, be nice, be loving, be kind, and all the good that you do is not for your own sake. It's because you are born to serve. That's why you should be good. Just take this message home, and thank you so much for this podcast. And I hope this Char Vichar just shines, blows up, and becomes a nationwide hit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chunnu Bhaiya. Thank you once again
Thank you,
for
भैया.
taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, मुझे बहुत मजा आया and I'm sure I can speak और Tanmay and Malang as well कि उन्हें भी बहुत अच्छा लगा, and to the audiences as well. I also hope that you liked the episode and gained something from it. And that's it for today. Char Vichar signing off. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.